Part 1. In the quiet town of Tranquility, a young woman named Emma found herself stuck in a rut.
She was dissatisfied with her job, her relationships, and her overall sense of direction in life. Is the story set in a bustling city? No, it's set in a quiet town called Tranquility. Is Emma satisfied with her life? No, she is dissatisfied with her job, relationships, and overall sense of direction. Does the story mention a specific person? Yes, it mentions a young woman named Emma. Is Emma content or dissatisfied with her life? Emma is dissatisfied with her life. Is the town Tranquility noisy or quiet? The town Tranquility is quiet. Is Emma experiencing direction or confusion in her life? Emma is experiencing confusion in her life. Is Emma's life fulfilling or unfulfilling? Emma's life is unfulfilling. Where does the story take place? The story takes place in the quiet town of Tranquility. Who is the main character of the story? The main character of the story is a young woman named Emma. What aspects of her life is Emma dissatisfied with? Emma is dissatisfied with her job, relationships, and overall sense of direction in life. Why is Emma's life unfulfilling? Emma's life is unfulfilling because she is dissatisfied with her job, relationships, and overall sense of direction in life. Part 2. One day, as she wandered through the local bookstore, she stumbled upon a book titled Kaizen, the Japanese method for transforming habits, one small step at a time. Does Emma find something interesting in the bookstore? Yes, she finds a book titled Kaizen, the Japanese method for transforming habits, one small step at a time. Is Emma at a library? No, she is at a local bookstore. Does Emma discover the book by accident? Yes, she stumbles upon the book. Is Emma wandering or purposefully searching in the bookstore? Emma is wandering in the bookstore. Does Emma find a book or a magazine? Emma finds a book. Is the book titled Kaizen about Japanese or American habits? The book is about Japanese habits. Does Emma discover the book intentionally or accidentally? Emma discovers the book accidentally. Where does Emma discover the book about Kaizen? Emma discovers the book in a local bookstore. What is the title of the book Emma finds? The title of the book is Kaizen, the Japanese method for transforming habits, one small step at a time. How does Emma come across the book? Emma stumbles upon the book while wandering through the bookstore. What is the main topic of the book Emma finds? The main topic of the book is the Japanese method of transforming habits through small, incremental steps. Part 3. Intrigued, Emma delved into the pages of the book and discovered the concept of Kaizen. She learned that, instead of attempting radical changes, she could improve her life by making small, incremental adjustments. Is Emma interested in the book she found? Yes, she is intrigued by the book. Does Kaizen involve making radical changes? No, Kaizen involves making small, incremental adjustments. Can Kaizen help improve Emma's life? Yes, Kaizen can help improve her life. Is Emma intrigued or indifferent to the book? Emma is intrigued by the book. Does Kaizen advocate for small or large changes? Kaizen advocates for small changes. Are the adjustments in Kaizen incremental or drastic? The adjustments in Kaizen are incremental. Is the Kaizen method about self-improvement or self-destruction? The Kaizen method is about self-improvement. How does Emma feel about the book on Kaizen? Emma feels intrigued by the book. What does the Kaizen method suggest for improving one's life? The Kaizen method suggests making small, incremental adjustments to improve one's life. Why is the Kaizen method different from making radical changes? The Kaizen method focuses on gradual improvements, which can be more sustainable and effective than radical changes. What does Emma learn about Kaizen? Emma learns that Kaizen is a Japanese method for transforming habits through small, incremental adjustments. Part 4, Inspired, Emma decided to put the Kaizen philosophy into practice. She started by identifying areas in her life where she wanted to see improvement. Does Emma decide to try the Kaizen method? Yes, she decides to put the Kaizen philosophy into practice. Does Emma immediately see improvements in her life? No, she first identifies areas in her life where she wants to see improvement. Is Emma proactive in making changes to her life? Yes, she takes action to implement the Kaizen method. Does Emma choose to apply or ignore the Kaizen philosophy? Emma chooses to apply the Kaizen philosophy. Does Emma begin by focusing on a single area or multiple areas of her life? Emma begins by focusing on a single area of her life. Is Emma passive or active in trying to improve her life? Emma is active in trying to improve her life. Does Emma work on her personal development or neglect it? Emma works on her personal development. What decision does Emma make after learning about the Kaizen method? Emma decides to put the Kaizen philosophy into practice. How does Emma start implementing the Kaizen method in her life? Emma starts by identifying areas in her life where she wants to see improvement. Which aspect of her life does Emma choose to focus on first? Emma chooses to begin with her health. What kind of approach does Emma take to improve her life using the Kaizen method? Emma takes an active, gradual approach to improve her life using the Kaizen method. Part 5, Emma chose to begin with her health and set a small goal of walking for 10 minutes every day. Does Emma set a small goal for her health? Yes, she sets a small goal of walking for 10 minutes every day. Does Emma start jogging immediately? No, she gradually increases the duration and intensity of her walks. Does Emma try other fitness activities as well? Yes, she eventually starts jogging and attending fitness classes. Does Emma set a small or large goal for her health? Emma sets a small goal for her health. Does Emma begin with walking or running? Emma begins with walking. Does Emma increase or decrease the duration and intensity of her walks? Emma increases the duration and intensity of her walks. Does Emma remain stagnant or progress in her fitness journey? Emma progresses in her fitness journey. What small goal does Emma set for her health? Emma sets a small goal of walking for 10 minutes every day. How does Emma progress in her fitness journey? Emma progresses by gradually increasing the duration and intensity of her walks. What other fitness activities does Emma eventually try? Emma eventually starts jogging and attending fitness classes. How does Emma's approach to her fitness align with the Kaizen method? Emma's gradual approach to improving her fitness, starting with small goals, aligns with the Kaizen method's focus on incremental changes. Part 6, as the days went by, she found herself gradually increasing the duration and intensity of her walks. The small steps she took each day began to add up, and she eventually started jogging and attending fitness classes. Does Emma gradually increase the duration and intensity of her walks? Yes, she gradually increases the duration and intensity of her walks. Do the small steps Emma takes each day begin to add up? Yes, the small steps she takes each day begin to add up. Does Emma eventually start jogging and attending fitness classes? Yes, she eventually starts jogging and attending fitness classes. Does Emma increase the duration of her walks quickly or gradually? Emma increases the duration of her walks gradually. Does she start jogging immediately or eventually? She starts jogging eventually. Does Emma's progress in her exercise routine accumulate or dissipate over time? Emma's progress in her exercise routine accumulates over time. Does Emma take small or large steps towards improving her health? Emma takes small steps towards improving her health. How does Emma's walking routine change over time? Emma's walking routine changes over time as she gradually increases the duration and intensity of her walks.
What is the result of the small steps Emma takes each day in her exercise routine?
The result of the small steps Emma takes each day in her exercise routine is that they begin to add up, leading to her jogging and attending fitness classes.
What type of exercise does Emma progress to after walking? Emma progresses to jogging after walking. Besides jogging, what other activity does Emma eventually participate in?
Emma eventually participates in fitness classes. Part 7, Seeing the positive impact Kaizen had on her health, Emma decided to apply the same approach to her career. She set a goal to learn a new skill relevant to her job every week, even if it was as simple as mastering a new keyboard shortcut.
Does Emma apply the Kaizen method to her career as well?
Yes, she decides to apply the same approach to her career.
Does Emma focus on learning new skills relevant to her job?
Yes, she sets a goal to learn a new skill relevant to her job every week.
Does Emma only learn complex skills for her job?
No, she learns both simple and complex skills, such as mastering a new keyboard shortcut.
Does Emma apply or disregard the Kaizen method in her career?
Emma applies the Kaizen method in her career.
Does Emma learn relevant or irrelevant skills for her job?
Emma learns relevant skills for her job.
Does Emma set a goal to learn a new skill every day or every week? Emma sets a goal to learn a new skill every week. Are the skills Emma learns simple or complex? Emma learns a mix of simple and complex skills. How does Emma apply the Kaizen method to her career?
Emma applies the Kaizen method to her career by setting a goal to learn a new skill relevant to her job every week.
What types of skills does Emma focus on learning? Emma focuses on learning a mix of simple and complex skills relevant to her job. Can you give an example of a simple skill Emma learns? One example of a simple skill Emma learns is mastering a new keyboard shortcut. What is the goal Emma sets for herself in her career with the Kaizen method? Emma's goal is to learn a new skill relevant to her job every week.
Part 8, Over time, these small improvements accumulated, and Emma found herself becoming more efficient and proficient in her work. Emboldened by her success, Emma continued to apply the Kaizen method to other aspects of her life, including her relationships and personal development. Does Emma's life begin to improve as she applies the Kaizen method?
Yes, her life begins to improve. Is Emma's improvement limited to her health and career?
No, she also applies the Kaizen method to her relationships.
Does Emma focus on improving her communication skills?
Yes, she focuses on improving her communication skills.
Does Emma experience improvement or deterioration in her life? Emma experiences improvement in her life. Does Emma apply the Kaizen method to her relationships or ignore them?
Emma applies the Kaizen method to her relationships.
Does Emma improve her communication or listening skills? Emma improves her communication skills. Are Emma's efforts in her relationships proactive or reactive? Emma's efforts in her relationships are proactive. How does the Kaizen method affect Emma's life?
The Kaizen method positively affects Emma's life, leading to improvements in her health, career, and relationships.
In which area does Emma apply the Kaizen method besides her health and career?
Emma applies the Kaizen method to her relationships.
What aspect of her relationships does Emma focus on improving?
Emma focuses on improving her communication skills.
How do Emma's efforts in her relationships align with the Kaizen method? Emma's efforts in her relationships align with the Kaizen method by proactively focusing on gradual improvements in her communication skills.
Part 9, With each small step she took, she found herself growing happier, more confident, and more fulfilled.
Does Emma feel more satisfied with her life?
Yes, she starts feeling more satisfied with her life.
Are Emma's changes in her life drastic?
No, her changes are small and incremental.
Does Emma continue to apply the Kaizen method in her life?
Yes, she continues to apply the Kaizen method.
Is Emma more satisfied or dissatisfied with her life after applying the Kaizen method? Emma is more satisfied with her life. Are the changes in Emma's life gradual or abrupt? The changes in Emma's life are gradual. Is the Kaizen method sustainable or unsustainable for Emma? The Kaizen method is sustainable for Emma. Does Emma abandon or embrace the Kaizen method in her life?
Emma embraces the Kaizen method in her life.
How does Emma feel after applying the Kaizen method to various areas of her life? Emma feels more satisfied with her life. What kind of changes does Emma experience in her life?
Emma experiences small, incremental changes in her life.
Why is the Kaizen method effective for Emma?
The Kaizen method is effective for Emma because it focuses on sustainable, gradual improvements that lead to long-lasting results.
What does Emma's journey demonstrate about the power of the Kaizen method?
Emma's journey demonstrates the power of the Kaizen method to bring about significant, positive changes in one's life through small, incremental adjustments.
Part 10. As word of Emma's transformation spread throughout Tranquility, her friends and neighbors began to take notice.
They, too, became curious about the power of Kaizen and started implementing the method in their own lives. Soon, the entire town was experiencing the benefits of this simple yet powerful philosophy.
Does Emma inspire others with her story? Yes, she inspires others with her transformation. Do other people in the town of Tranquility start applying the Kaizen method? Yes, many people in the town start applying the Kaizen method in their lives. Is Emma's story limited to her personal experience?
No, her story extends to others who are inspired by her journey.
Does Emma's story inspire or discourage others? Emma's story inspires others. Do people in the town embrace or reject the Kaizen method? People in the town embrace the Kaizen method. Is Emma's journey influential or insignificant in her community? Emma's journey is influential in her community. Does Emma's story have a positive or negative impact on the town? Emma's story has a positive impact on the town. How does Emma's story affect others? Emma's story inspires others to apply the Kaizen method in their lives. What do people in the town of Tranquility learn from Emma's journey?
People in the town learn the power of the Kaizen method and how small, incremental changes can lead to significant improvements in their lives.
How does the town of Tranquility change as a result of Emma's story?
The town of Tranquility experiences positive change as more people embrace the Kaizen method and work towards improving their lives.
What role does Emma play in her community after her transformation? Emma becomes an inspiration and a catalyst for positive change in her community. Does the story end on a positive note? Yes, the story ends on a positive note. Is Emma's life still unfulfilling at the end of the story?
No, her life is fulfilling and satisfying.
Has the town of Tranquility undergone a transformation? Yes, the town has experienced positive change. Does the story have a happy or sad ending?
The story has a happy ending.
Is Emma's life fulfilling or unfulfilling at the end of the story? Emma's life is fulfilling at the end of the story. Is the town of Tranquility stagnant or transformed? The town of Tranquility is transformed. Is the conclusion of the story hopeful or hopeless? The conclusion of the story is hopeful. What is the overall tone of the story's ending? The overall tone of the story's ending is positive and hopeful. How does Emma's life change by the end of the story?
Emma's life becomes more fulfilling and satisfying as she applies the Kaizen method to various aspects of her life.
What is the impact of the Kaizen method on the town of Tranquility?
The Kaizen method has a positive impact on the town, inspiring many people to make small, incremental changes that lead to improvements in their lives.
How does the story demonstrate the power of small changes? The story demonstrates the power of small changes through Emma's personal journey and the transformation of the town of Tranquility as more people embrace the Kaizen method.